Greetings. We have ourselves a pressure washer, something a little different, something a little new. Now this pressure washer, I'm not sure of the manufacturer, but it says it's got American flags all over it. And it feels like a Frankenstein machine to me. Alright, let's talk about why. This is a Honda motor, and the water pump here is a Italian made. It's Italian made. I'm not sure of the date, but it's made in Italy. That's Japanese, and that's the information on the model number and manufacturer. I think XL is the American company that kind of like puts it together. So the client said to me that this is broken. Now, what does that mean? I could mean a lot of stuff. Could be the seals in here or the pistons in here are all leaking. I'm unsure. My old self would think just to replace the whole thing, get a new one. This piece is around $280 to $350, so you know, I'm not really sure what's practical, because at that point you can get yourself another water pump that pushes out that much PSI, 3,000 PSI, which is pretty impressive. So I became aware that you can actually take a water pump and rebuild it the same way you do a carburetor. So if everything goes well, that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to rebuild this water pump at about maybe I think it feels to me like cost-wise it should cost around 50% less than purchasing a new one, and it should be just as good. So that's what we have. Let's take a look at the motor back here. So we have a pull start. It's a Honda GX270, 9 horsepower. It's got electric ignition. Right here we have a choke, and we have fuel. So you have fuel on or fuel off. So this is off position for the fuel. Fuel tank. Let's see. So I think this is this dumps right into the carburetor. The carburetor right here. Then we have ourselves, this looks like a governor spring. And over here, what is that? It's got on and off. Maybe it's an electric start. Not really sure yet. Let's take a look at this. This is the oil. Hey, look at this. This is great. It has an oil alert, so when the oil level gets too low, it's going to shut itself off, which is great, because sometimes many people don't have the right kind of processes when it comes to checking and maintaining their vehicles. So this is the oil, and they let the oil run low. That oil is super dirty. Yeah. So we need to clean that out at some point. I think this would make a good project. The motor on this is a GX270-270. It's 270 centimeters. That's the motor. So we have some new stuff to deal with. Honda motor, Honda carburetor, Italian water pump. And yeah, that's it. So let's take a deeper look and start off with see if we can get it to run just quickly, nothing big. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to get you a better view. You see that? Okay, well, there's a little filter in there. Looks pretty good. It looks pretty clean. Everything's clean. The can has no rust, so not a bad day. Very nice. I hope you can see it. All right, let's give it a try and see if it starts. I put some fuel in there. I'm not sure what's going to happen. It says here the engine in the on position. Now I had to connect the hose because the hose takes pressure off of the engine. If you're pulling on it, it builds up in here. So you have to press it to take some pressure off. This is in the on position. Got the fuel in the on position. I want you to see from back here what's... So we put that in the on position. Then we come around here, and the fuel, this is on, going that way. So we put that in the on position. This is the choke. I'm gonna try either or. I'm not really sure what's the best way to go. So I'll go that way to open it up. And then that's it. We should be able to give it a couple tugs and see what's happening. Again, you want to connect the wand to the actual fuel pump because pressure will build up just like the cylinder inside the motor. Pressure builds up in here as you pull on it. And you don't want to really run this for too long because this gets hot without water. There's no water attached to it. So I'm just trying to see if it'll start. That's easy. Alright, I guess we should test that pump. So I attached some attached water to the actual hose, to the pressure washer itself, and you know, it's making its maiden piss, and I wanted to like observe what's going to happen here. So let's take a look. You can see right here there's a drip that's happening. See that? Puddle of water. Yeah. What do you think? Is it seal that's messed up? Maybe. Yeah, I think so too. Right here, that might need a new seal also. All right. Now I'm a little concerned about this because it's super oily right here, and I'm unsure what that is. Whatever. Over here, it's just going. I've never owned one of these things before, so I have no idea. I'm sorry. Can you see this? I have no idea what's happening. Triggers do something. Trigger leaks a lot. Alright, let me get you back in a tripod so you can actually see stuff. Alright, so I need to fill this up with some fuel just to make the engine run a little smoother. I want to see what's going to happen, and then I'm going to just press the trigger and see what happens. Yeah, that's it. I'm learning with you right now what this thing does. What do you think? It's gonna catch on fire if I pull on it? Yeah, I don't know. Good luck, right? Alright, I'm sure that has its limits with how much interest you have. So at this point, I feel like I had like some beginner's luck. I'm gonna go and pull on some more. If not, then we're gonna check for fuel and clean up the carburetor and then put it back on and continue. Alright, it's definitely not working. Look no further. That's exactly why the gun is leaking. See a crack right here? Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. And that's why it leaks by the gun. I want to check the spark plug for spark. I feel fairly confident it has spark because it started up, but I just want to check it again. And to do that, I'm going to have to remove that that cover for the cylinder head. And also, I need to drain the fuel out of there because we did put some more fuel in it. So let's start with the spark plug, shall we? Okay. This is going to be a 10 millimeter, and the reason why I need to, this is a spark plug. I can't get my socket in there because this cover is in the way. So I need to get this off. That's what that is. So that has oil. That is never a good sign. I wonder if the engine has an oil leak. That's it. Totally forgot the orientation, but it's fine because the grooves here will sit in there. Right. That's the oil I was talking about. I don't know if the seal is like loose. Might want to replace the seal on this at some point. Big deal. So now I can get to the actual spark plug. 13/16. The spark plug itself is pretty dark. Yeah, I think it's just burning oil. Yeah, there's oil on there. Alright, well, yeah, the vintage of this thing indicates to me that that it's going to need a little bit of loving. So let's put that in here. And I'm going to close this back up so I don't want any debris to get into that. So let's put this back.
Whoa.
I'm doing this by hand so that way I don't have to worry about cross-threading it, because I can feel it. If it feels weird, I'll just like stop.
Today is the motherfucking day.
I agree, today is the motherfucking day.
I took all the shoes off the top of my butt. Any shoe that had a fucking string. I took them bitches down, I lined them up, so.
Well, see, I didn't start cursing. So if this gets flagged, I had nothing to do with it. I just continued. Alright, I want to see if we can get some spark off of this. So I'm going to jam that in here somewhere and pull on that starter. I mean the rewind. So you can see we have lots of spark. These things are really hard to do. There's got to be an easier way to do it when you're not by yourself, other than like trying to hold it in some awkward angle and run around the side and pulling on it. It's really difficult. You know, there's got to be an easier way. I was gonna just, you know, zip tie it right there, but you know, if you have a friend, get a friend. I have a friend, so I got a friend. Carburetor needs to come off, and to do that, we have two 10mm bolts right here that holds it onto the body. I think this is an air filter up top, so we're gonna unscrew that first. Let's see. And so just a wing nut. So take this wing nut off. Cool. So this wing nut holds this on top. And we have another wing nut here. You probably can't see it too well. Let's get this out of the way. So that lifts right off. So we're, oh my god, this thing is like, it's gonna melt in my hand. Okay, so we're gonna need a new filter. There's a gasket here, so we'll need a new gasket that goes right here. You can see there's anything special about this gasket. Actually no, the gasket's pretty soft, so we won't need a new one. Oops, sorry. But the air filter we'll need a new air filter for sure. Okay, and so we have a bolt here, a 10mm bolt. I'm thinking this, since it's Japanese, we're gonna get a lot of 10mm bolts. That is that. A little washer. Okay. And then we're gonna come around here. I'll bring it. So we have these two 10mm. So those 2 nuts look like that. Make sure you can see it. So, I don't know if you can see this, but you see that right there? Right here? That is a knob for something. I don't really know what it controls. So, all I know it's the governor springs attached to it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, right? I don't even know how fluid it's supposed to move either, so. Okay, so can we get this carburetor off of here? So what does that do? This knob is going to be a problem. Okay, so I'll take a look at it for a little bit and get back at it. I think this slides off as a little breather hose, I think. It goes, I think that's what that might be. Just pull the gasket right there. Okay. So I get to here, and then what happened is I can't seem to get it past this. Don't know if this slides back. Okay, you see the problem, right? Okay, so this is in the way, and I'm unsure what that means. Okay, we'll try to figure this out. So guess what? There's no way I can take this container that houses the air filter off. This is welded to the body. That is all welded together. So I'm gonna have to take the engine and remove it from the actual surface that holds it, so I can move this out of the way to get to the carb. All right, you ready? Here we go. This is there's 4 bolts that hold it underneath, and they are 14mm bolts. So let's have at it, Sean. Okay. Okay. Can you see that? So I gotta be careful. I'm gonna remove get an extension on that.
What? I don't know.
What's up? How you doing?
What are you doing?
Fixing it. You wanna help? Alright. So we have oh, okay. They're also at the top. You know what? I gotcha. They're also at the top, so I'm just gonna break these from the bottom here. I wonder if I loosen that one up and just swing it out of the way. Okay. Everything's loose. And put this back. Yeah, definitely. So if I loosen all those up, I should be able to just swing this down that way. So that's the plan. Yeah, I like it. Let's see what's going on. So these bolts right here at the top, should be able to see if I can do it by hand. All right, well, you get the idea, right? So I got a 14 millimeter wrench here, and got a 14 millimeter underneath. Oh, that's the wrong way. Am I in your way? Sorry about that. Could have definitely given me a better angle. Let's see how strong my fingers are. Not bad. It's a good thing I loosened it up earlier with my hands. Bare hands, that is. Alright, so got a washer that fell out from underneath. This is what's on top. Okay. And I assume yeah, there it is. It's in here. That's the nut. Cool. Great. So this is underneath, top of the nut, and this was on top like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the other 3. I'm gonna leave this one in place. This one's loose, because all I need to do is just kind of like pivot the washer around. So get your better shot. Come around from the other side. Yeah. All right, again, we got a 14 millimeter here. Oh, look at this. This one's missing a washer, so somebody's been here before and they never even put it back. Oh, I hate that stuff. Washer nut and washer nut up here. This is a lock washer at the bottom. I'm not sure if it's the same all the way around. I didn't even look at the other one. Probably is the same, but I didn't pay attention. So these threads need to be cleaned up, so I'm not trying to like screw them on too much. It's a little dirty. Alright, so I keep that there. We'll do the same for this. Alright. ratchet and wrench. That's what this is. Sometimes it's hard to keep all the names right for everything you own. You know, just gets a little. Spoken prose gets a little compromised. That's the best way to describe it. It doesn't help when sleep is something that it's not easy to attain. And the first two things that go when you don't sleep a lot. If you're a singer, you know that your voice is the first thing that goes when you don't sing well. If you're interested in your academic pursuits in the most polyglot kind of manner, I'm sorry, more polymath, then you'll end up recognizing that your cognitive processes are impeded by your inability to get a good night's rest. All right. Yep, another lock washer. So that is the pattern. So I'm going to store these like this so I know what to do with them as I come back to it. All right. See that? Great. Now we should be able to just turn this and continue with the carburetor. Voila! Alright. Steer box. Pull that off. This gasket. Wow, that's cool. That is a metal gasket. And it goes like that. It has, that's pretty neat, huh? Can you see that? Some sort of I don't even know, is that gasket material or a liquid gasket? I'm unsure. Well, either way, I'll clean this all up and we'll figure out what to do with this situation. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So we have 2 springs on this. Let's pull you around so you can see it. Don't you love it when I drag you around? Just gonna unhook that. Hey, you know, maybe we should take a couple photos of this. What do you think? Yeah, let's do a couple photos. Alright, so this fuel line here, we're gonna need to like dump that fuel out of it. God, here we go. Alright, so here we go. We have... the fuel's pretty much done now. This makes it a little less of an environmental cleanup situation. Yeah, alright, great. So you get the idea. Now we got the carburetor, we can get that off. And wonder if we should probably open up the, you know what I was thinking? We should probably open up the tank. Just, oops. See if we can get a little bit more out of there. So, let's go. Just take the gas cap off, I meant. That helps. No, it's just dripping. Alright, great. It's so much easier now to get the carburetor off since everything's out of the way. All the links are detached. Turn that off. You see right here, there's a gasket. That thing looks pretty... I'm going to leave it alone before I start pulling on it, but I'm going to try to replace that gasket. So I'm going to try to see if I can find that. Yeah. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Okay, but the carburetor's off. Carburetor is made in Japan, and it says on the side, I don't know if you can read it, but it's K-E-I-H-I-N, Japan. And sometimes there's a B-E right here. Sometimes you can get a model number on these things. Oh, right here, probably. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be a model number for this carburetor. That's going to help me find the actual rebuild kit for it. So this carburetor is, and the numbers on top are, can you read it? 75B, B with a box around it, LC. I don't know if that's an N, or it looks like a, yeah, I guess it's an N or a Roman numeral 4? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's 758, or I don't understand. This font is so strange. 75, maybe it's a 758, and then they put a, since it's a B, they put a block around it. LCN. Anyway, your guess is as good as mine for now. I'm gonna look into it and I'll definitely let you know. Okay? And it looks so similar to the Chinese carburetor on the home light. Well, not really, but you know, it's because of this part right here.